Hey guys, welcome to the SimRacingPaddock. I'm William Marsh, and it is finally here. Assetto Corsa Competizione version 1.0.0 is officially released. ACC is out of early access, and we are going to test it out. So, right now, ACC is available on sale for $40.49 US dollars. That's $40.49, not $4,049. So, this is the official release, and this is what you'll get in the full title. So it says featuring 51 teams, 280 selectable drivers, and 14 manufacturers. ACC allows sim racers to experience the real atmosphere of the FIA GTE homologated GT3 championship. And it uses Unreal Engine 4, which I'll get on that later. I'm not the biggest fan of UE4, but we'll get to test it out. 10 tracks, yes. Sound in the background. I am sorry about that, guys. My neighbors are doing construction right now, or something like that. So that's the sound in the background. Sorry about that. So, with that being said, we can check out the current log. So, current two new added cars: the Porsche 911 991 GT3R, that's the GT3 car, and the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup. I thought that's a feeder series, but I'll have to take a look at that. Mercedes AMG GT3. I saw Morten Nielsen already asked about me testing that out. Or wait, no, he asked about the Aston Martin. Okay, so yeah, AMG GT3, Audi R8 LMS. I thought that was already in. Same thing with the Lamborghini Huracan. That was in, I thought, the first early access release. And 650S, Bentley Continental, Aston Martin V12. I think those were already in. The Ryder Engineering REX GT3. That's new. The Lexus RCF GT3 and a Honda/Acura NSX. I'm excited to test out the NSX. And then new circuits, Barcelona, Silverstone, Spa-Francorchamps, Brands Hatch. So that is nice to see. Apparently they updated this to Unreal Engine 4.2.2. CPU optimizations, that's always nice because Unreal Engine 4 is pretty darn CPU heavy. Physics, new ABS logic, so now I guess it's an overhaul on ABS. Physics-based flat spotting re-enabled and improved. You can badly flat spot your tires with 2 or 3 high-speed spins, so we will need to test that out. Hey, first and how's it going? Fuel load simulation, that's a little better, I guess. Our fuel load simulation / testing. Okay, so what this sounds like is in practice sessions, you can get an estimation on what this or what a fuel load will take you. So this is disabled in qualification, hot lap / hot stint, and race. So then you have to do a little more guesstimation. So that works. And then more simulation ECU. Tire sets improved. You can limit set tire sets for race weekends. That's pretty cool, I'll say that. So these are the defaults. So endurance, you get 6 for 3 hours, 9 sets for, and then 24-hour no limit. Okay. Massive change log. Massive, I'll say that. So this is available on the Steam page for ACC. I'm not going to go over everything. I just want to take a quick skim over, see if there's anything that really jumps out at me. So, yeah, there's a lot going on. Now, there is a season and championship game mode. There are the championship mode, so if you really wanted to jump into that, there's also the career mode, which includes 2 seasons, including introductory test sessions and an introduction to sprint and endurance racing in a car of your choice. So that's nice. Add a save game function. Initial implementation allows one game session to be saved and loaded. Limited to single-player race weekend modes. Multiple save option and save during championship and career to be added later. Or championship career sessions. You can save your championship, just not mid-race weekend right now. Okay. All right, and yeah, it says right there, championship and career save between events. Added saving and loading replays. Yes. Added reset of collidable and destructible objects on session restarts and progression. Okay. Oh, new Lambo is spec series. Okay, thanks for that, Eero. All right, so we could spend an hour going over this freaking changelog. This is absolutely nuts. But for now, let's actually just jump in and drive. So let's launch ACC. Display capture is going to go dark for a second while we fire up ACC. So one thing you'll notice is I am streaming in... I'm streaming right now in 1080p, even though I'm running ultra-wide. That's because the ultra-wide is just so hardware intensive that I couldn't really stream well with it on ultra-wide settings. So for right now, I'm running in 1080p because I was getting relatively decent performance. So yeah, we'll keep that in mind. Multiplayer driver swap. Yes, that is freaking awesome. I'll say that. So, hold on. Game capture. Come on, turn it on. There we go. AC2. It always cracks me up because the executable file for Assetto Corsa Competizione is AC2. And this isn't Assetto Corsa 2. So, yeah, go figure. All right. So... taking a look, this user interface is largely the same, save for Assetto Corsa Competizione version 1.0.0. Career mode is finally not grayed out. Championship is finally not grayed out. Single player and special events, multiplayer still there. Jumping into options, I did a little bit of testing to just make sure everything was working all right, and we got it going pretty well. The heads-up display is basically the same as what it was before. General settings, you have a lot more settings now. Replay max length, replay quality, so you can choose what quality level to set your replay. You can set it to auto save or manual save. So a couple other settings. This one is ungrayed if you enable autosave. I'm not going to do that for now. Video settings, this has received a pretty significant overhaul. So there's the basic tab, which was all that we really got in the early access. Advanced settings, so materials quality, temporal upscaling or upsampling, bloom quality, volumetric fog, this kind of stuff. So HLOD is hierarchical level. So, image customization, motion blur. I disabled it. I'm not a big fan of motion blur. The saturation kept it fine. The white balance, you can either make it warm, warmer, colder, cold, or neutral. I like neutral. I set a frame limit on my stream to 75 because that sort of puts less strain on my GPU, and I was able to get better streaming performance. Lock to horizon, you can't really see that because it's blocked by the stuff right now. Number 7, I haven't really jumped into it yet, so you're getting my raw first impressions. So I'm curious because they made this big deal about the ray tracing shadows, and I'm trying to look for those. So I don't see anything about ray tracing in the settings. Shadows, resolution scale. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything really about ray tracing. Okay, no RTX yet. I was curious about that. So, yeah. With that being said, that's just about everything that's in the settings. So you have the settings here. So manual gearbox, clutch, engine start, etc. So we got that all. So let's just do a quick test drive. I did get the new NVIDIA driver. I made sure to install it before jumping into this session. So realism. So we have all of these right here. So damage rate 100%. So let's just turn that all the way up. Tire sets, yeah, let's set to limited. So let's try a combo that is new to this. So let's see what we have. Seems like we're missing a bit. Porsche, Nissan, Bentley, AMR. Okay, here's the new stuff. Thank you, Matt A, for subscribing. Thank you. So here's one of the new ones, which I guess is a modified Lamborghini Gallardo. That's what pops up. So there's that. The Emil Frey we tested before. And Lexus RCF, we'll test that later. Our Honda NSX, I'll test that in a little bit. You were saying the AMG GT3. So yeah, let's give that a go. And the different liveries. That one's literal fire. I like this black and yellow one. So you can set the different filters, or not filters, but you can see the different classes there. Let's go 43. Tracks. So now we have Zolder, Monza, Brands Hatch, Silverstone, Paul Ricard, Misano, Spa, Hungaroring, Nürburgring, and Barcelona. Let's take this to Brands Hatch. And we can jump in right now. Dwarvis Pasty. Being bald is cheating. Oh, wait, did I say black and green? Oh, yeah, now it looks green. It looked yellowish there. Or I guess because I changed the color. Different teams have different colors. All right, so. That deep V8 grunt. Let's leave the pits. Realize we're still in kilometers right now. No game sound. Okay, let me fix that real quick. I'll fix that real quick. Sorry, guys. Thanks for letting me know. Why did it change that? So let's go to speakers. Okay, now it's working. Restart the car. Check view settings. Plenty of new stuff. Thanks for the heads up. I will check that shortly. I just want to get an idea on the feel of these cars right now. And just the idea of how it performs. I'm liking the sound, though. I'll say that. I am a little concerned, though. Or what was I gonna say right there? So, the force feedback still doesn't feel like a major wow factor to me right now. It feels definitely improved over the early releases, but with just the force feedback, it feels a little slower. Like, still, it feels a little sluggish compared to other sims, which, for all I know, it could be realistic. It could be, I've never driven a GT3 race car, but it still feels a little sluggish. And also, what I'm nervous about, I'm still noticing input latency. I'm still noticing a bit of input lag. It is a little concerning to me, I'll put it that way. Force feedback, R Factor 2 blows this out of the water, in my opinion. The force feedback in R Factor 2, I enjoy a ton. Now, force feedback is a little subjective, I will say that. where basically force feedback is the developer's interpretation of what it is. So that is sort of one of the things to consider. But this is alright. The force feedback's okay, but there's just other things I have concerns about. I'm still concerned that there's this input lag, though. I'd say that. The input lag in this, it seems very CPU bound. Or CPU or GPU bound, I'm not certain. But it's still there. It feels a little weird. So I wonder if that also influences the way I feel about this. Because input lag could cause a lot of interesting things. But it's alright, I'll say that. Also consider I am streaming. I am streaming right now, so that's putting an extra bit of strain on my GPU and my CPU. So that also is a factor where if you're not streaming, it might be a little easier. I like the way you can change the pages on the heads-up display. Like so, press a button, you can just change through the toggles if you look on the bottom left of the screen. I don't think I have the dampening set to 0, but also I want to touch on something I freaking love that they finally gave us permission to do. Stuart, yes, I did get it. So they finally allow you to modify the controller settings in the while you're driving. Why the heck did they not have this before? It's like, yeah, no brainer. They need to allow you to jump into this while you can do like changes on the fly. Before you had to jump out of the session, which was a pain in the butt. So yeah, I mini rant over there. So let's check this view settings because, oh dang, you weren't kidding. You were not kidding when you were saying that they added that more. Like, they added more stuff. That is pretty awesome, I'll say that. So, you can, on the fly, change wheel, lock wheel, hide the wheel. So that's nice to see. You can change the pitch. You can really knock it down. Change the field of view. Props to them having it a legitimate degree figure now. The distance. Lateral. So yeah, that's a lot you can change now. I'll change that down to 3 though. Alright, let's drop out of this. Yeah, that's a major improvement to QOL. So let's jump back in. Yeah, and unfortunately I can't test VR right now because, especially if I was streaming. If I was streaming, that would murder VR performance. So I want to test that in a non-streaming environment. Whoa, okay. Tank slapper, not good.
Severe damage on the front of the car.
So, that's the first time I've wrecked with actual damage in this, I think. VSync is off. I do have a G-Sync monitor, though, so that could change how it is. So, I have some damage. Let's see. Still tracking straight. I'm curious. Now that we've damaged the car a little bit, I am curious if we might be able to cause a little more damage maybe hit the pit wall here. Clutch in.
Some severe damage in the front.
Okay. That looks like some serious damage there. We saw the hood flap up. Still tracking straight, though.
There's some light damage on the right of the car.
Okay. That was a big hit there. That's some serious damage. So, let's see. Is there a way I can show you guys? Oh yeah, I think there's a new photo mode, I thought. So, okay, here's what you can rotate. It looks like fairly bare bones damage engine. So at least there's something. But yeah, it just looks like engine hood is up. Some scrapes and scratches. So, F7 is free camera. Or at least free camera for the cockpit. Yeah. Oh. Huh. F8, high resolution screenshot. Wait, what just happened? Hold on. What the? Sorry, guys, that was weird. Multiplayer is kind of half broken right now. I hate to say it, but somehow I'm not surprised. Really? Did I just break something by capturing a screenshot? Really? Hold on. What a... Well... Yeah, I guess that broke the screen. Let's try something. I'll just do display capture, not game capture right now. Alright, so... First car and track. The physics feel very similar to the previous early access update. Some minor improvements, but still very similar, I'll put it that way. I'm curious about this Porsche, though. This Porsche should be very interesting to drive, I think. So I'm curious. I want to get a feel for this car and see how it is. All right, Kim. I will talk to you later, man. Have a good one. So let's take this to Spa-Francorchamps. And let's make this a little more interesting. So, starting track conditions, green, fast, or optimum. Let's start with fast. Actually, let's have a little bit of fun. So we'll do 20% of each. Random weather enabled. 20%. Why not? Keep things interesting. So we have no clue how it's going to be. All we know is the track's going to start off wet. Okay, I need to give Kunos credit. Very, very quick loading screens. Very quick. That is nice. And this is the setup page. It looks pretty identical to what we had before. Yeah, very similar. It's pretty nice at least, so... but I'd say that I would have liked to see a little more change, I think. So let's change back to cockpit. I have not checked out career mode yet. I might jump in after this test drive, though, because I'm kind of curious. I am loving this sound, though. Interesting how it allows us to speed like this. Wait. What just happened? Oh, I think I just got penalized. I was like, what's going on here? So, let's see. Do I have a pit speed limiter button mapped? Let's make sure. Yes. Did I miss an indication that we were going to get penalized? Yeah, it's literally parked us. So, hold on.
Green light. Give it all you can.
Yeah, I guess pit speed limiter only works in first gear. So let's keep that in mind. Keep it under 50. They should have something that indicates you should have the pit speed limit, I think. I'm just saying. And then you could turn it on or off. Oh my gosh! Okay, I felt that. I felt that. Water. Yeah, you can see some water on the track. Right there. Washed out a bit. So this car is definitely snappier than the other cars. I'll say that, but it's interesting. Tradesman, they've tweaked it a little bit, but not really enough to, like, say, yes, they've made major improvements or something like that. Dan, how's it going, man? So, slick tires optimum. Interesting. That notification at the bottom. But yeah, so, it feels like minor improvements over what we had before, but it just still has those gripes that I think I've had ever since the original early access build. I'm not a fan of it being on Unreal Engine as well, because I think some of the engine attributes, like the input lag that's slightly heavier than other sims, that I think brings this down a bit. If this was its own engine, I think if they built on the original Assetto Corsa engine, I think they could have had a lot more stuff. Oh, whoa, that got loose. Yeah, this wet weather is insane. And this is only 20% track moisture. This is a fun car, though. I'll say that. This is a fun car. Does it still do the crazy curve thing where the car spins? I think I've only spun out once in this stream so far, so I'm not sure. How's it on performance? It still feels a little too intense. It feels like it drains still a bit too much, which I feel is the case with a lot of Unreal Engine games. I think it just is a major system resource hog, And I think it's more on the CPU than the GPU. Because I have the i7 7700K in this system. And it still feels like I am draining a lot out of it. Rob, I'm considering it. I'm considering trying maybe, I think it's like the 3950 or the $500 chip. And because it's compatible with all AM4 motherboards, I could just put it into my X370 board, I think. It looked like it is running the latest UE4 update. I think it said it was like 4.2.2 or something like that. So that was in the changelog. Yeah, Pelicoon, I might also be influenced a bit because I'm streaming right now. But yeah, it just seems like it is very, very heavy duty. Like, it'll bring a top tier system to its knees. Well, Pelicoon, I believe that might be the issue. I think that's where the issue lies right there. Unreal Engine doesn't take full advantage of an 8-core or a multi-core system. So that's one of my concerns. Right now I'm streaming with NVIDIA Encoder because it's doing just fine for me. I'm seeing rock solid 60 frames per second on OBS, so I'm hoping it's pleasant for you guys. So it is taking a little off the top with the GPU. One of the reasons I'm streaming in 1080, not ultra-wide 1440. Try 10% wetness with slicks. Well, we're at 20% right now, so why not jump into the garage, go on slicks, see how nuts it gets. Aggressive preset. Let's look at, is it mechanical grips or tires? Whoops, my bad. Is there something I'm missing? How do you change to... Oh, dry. There we go. Fuel and strategy. That's where they put it. Fuel per lap, 4.25 liters. Okay. So I believe we're on slicks now. I wonder, you break down. Whoa. I'm curious, that's at 80 at the pit exit. That's at 80 kilometers an hour, and we're down to 50.
Low tire pressure. Stay clear of the curbs.
Hold on. Up the game audio a bit. Sure thing. Let's take a look at that. Okay, that should be a little better. So yeah, we're at, I think, 20% moisture on the track. Right there. Okay, pit out says 50. And we got penalized. My bad. Let's jump out. Restart session. Yeah, that was me being stupid. So aggressive preset. That's all right.
All right, here we go. Go, go, go.
There we go. I am using G-Sync on this monitor. Okay, so we're going through again. I'm not sure about the FPS boost. They don't have an FPS counter in this. So right there, it says 80. Well, this is different input lag than the G-Sync lag. This is something that I've seen. I'll guarantee you, once we get onto a session with multiple cars, we're going to have more input lag. Because to be honest, it's not too horrible right now. But when we get into a session with multiple cars, that's going to increase our CPU usage. And I think that is going to cause some issues. Hello, Darth Vader. How's it going? So let's get some heat in. Man, when you hit a puddle, this car just washes out. Yeah, Alex, I would think so, but I just think it might be a minor oversight that for the GT3. I do not have full screen enabled because if I have full screen enabled, it stretches out the image. You just hear the car going over the puddles. A little sideways there. So I'm enjoying this car a lot, actually. Well, thank you, Need for Speed, for subscribing. Yeah, you can just see under, like, load on these tires if you hit a puddle. You are really going to get a bit of rear rotating into the corners. Oh! Pilcoon, I hope that answered your question!
Some severe damage on the front of the car.
Severe damage to the front. Wonder what happens if we pit. That was a big hit. So there, it says pit in 50. Oh, this feels so slow. Okay, that was nothing. Let's see. Okay, those are basically filled with concrete and maybe attached to the ground. So, I am now curious about the career mode. I want to take a look at that. So, let's hop out of this, and career is the new major addition to ACC. So let's jump in. New career. Automatic gearbox off. Ideal line off. Duration short. Yeah, that's fine. Now let's watch.
Hi there, I'm Mirko Bortolotti, Lamborghini factory driver and 2017 Blancpain GT Series champion. Welcome to the career mode of Assetto Corsa Competizione, the official video game of the Blancpain GT series. You have been granted the access to the Lamborghini Youngster program at the legendary Temple of Speed of Monza, and you will be driving a Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo. This monster is not a plug-and-play experience, so we first need to verify if you really got what it takes for GT racing. You will be asked to perform some simple and very basic tests like driving the car out of the pit lane, avoiding collisions with other drivers, staying within the track limits, and bring the car back in one piece. Our race engineers will need to check your radio systems, tire temperatures and brakes, so be careful and remember, racing never starts from being fast, but from being safe and disciplined. After the
Alrighty.
first installation tests, the team will ask you to prove your skills with performance-focused tests. Be focused, don't overdrive, merge yourself with the car and do your best. The
Merge
results
yourself
will
with the
affect
car.
how good you will start your career, so that maybe some of the best teams will offer you a drive in the next Sprint Cup season. See you on track and good luck.
Okay. Well, it's nice that they have some sort of tutorial, which I'd say is welcome. Again, very quick load screen. You are now part of the Lamborghini Squadra Corsa Youngster Program. You have the opportunity to compete, or to be selected by a Blancpain GT Series racing team to compete in a Sprint Cup season. Wait, Sprint Cup's NASCAR. Actually, that was. The first test will be a 10-minute practice session in which you will need to post your best lap time you can achieve, driving as safe as you can to return the car back to the garage in one piece. You are now... Oh, gosh. They duplicated the message. Quality assurance. Alright. Let's take this car for a spin.
Show them what you got. Welcome to the Lamborghini Youngster Program. Today, you are given a seat in the Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo. Our team will look at your best lap on track in dry conditions. Complete at least 2 safe and valid laps and then start pushing. Good luck.
Love the sound of this car. So just gotta do some safe laps and not embarrass myself. Hey Grant, how's it going, man? Dan, I'm not really good at chase cam, but let's see. Super GT moment. I'm not gonna do any hot laps like this. I'll just do a couple corners. External sounds are pretty good though, I'll say that. External sounds I can get by. And now let's jump back in. Let's see how this goes. The shadow draw distance for the fence was very short. All right, let's throw down a few good laps. Force feedback, a tiny improvement. Not anything major, though, unfortunately. Overcooked the first corner. Not good. Move my braking point back a bit for next lap. GM won't be happy. Hey Trevor, been a while. How have you been, man? Ran a little wide there. Mr. Gerald, I have not tested Storm yet. All right. Let's put down a hot lap. I'm going to shut up and drive. Oh, almost lost it there. I've just mainly been doing default right now. Hold it flat out. Car washes out a little bit. Only a couple laps left. Gonna turn on traction control a bit.
Well done, mate. This is me, your muscle best.
Well, with this being a clockwise track, it would put more strain on the left rear, I think. I find the force feedback passable, but I don't find any reason to call it great. That's my situation. Like, for me, I felt that Assetto Corsa, the original's force feedback was a lot better, in my opinion.
Well done, mate. Muscle best.
Wow, I am last right now. Jeez. This is embarrassing. Get one more lap. Maybe a little impact, but there hasn't been too much going on, I think. The car feels a little freer right now. What I'm wondering is if I had underfilled, like if I put less fuel in the tank, how that would affect things, because they put a lot of fuel in the car for this session. Oh crap.
You've got some severe damage in the front.
That's not good. So I wanted to try something. I know this is a little bit cheating, but I'm going to restart this session and tweak the setup a bit, because the fuel level in that is really high. That was like almost 15 to 17 laps worth of fuel. Yeah, 62 liters. Yeah, 25 I think would be good for that. So let's jump into... Actually, let's go with aggressive preset. Race strategy. 25 liters. I think that'll be alright.
Green light, give it all you can. Welcome to the Lamborghini Youngster program. Today, you are given a seat in the Lamborghini Huracan Super Petrofile. Our team will look at your best lap on track in dry conditions. Complete at least 2 safe and valid laps and then start pushing. Good luck.
So let's see how this feels. Turn it down, ABS to 4. Front end feels pretty good. It just is interesting because I don't know if it's this car or me driving it, but it feels like there's a little bit of disconnect and it washes out more than I would assume. Yeah, let's get some good laps in. Oh, we almost lost it. But it feels a lot better in terms of us being able to catch slides. So almost it's better rear field than front veer. Or front field. Ah! English, what is it? Alright, let's get some good laps in. Got a little over greedy through there. Yeah, for triple screens, it stretches the image, which is less than ideal. It's functional, but it's similar to what Codemasters does. You can't manually, like, set the angle or of the screens. So, yeah, it's not great. Alright, let's throw down a good lap. Let's try some first. Got a slightly better run out. Should have went on the inside there. Yeah, Trevor, the only concern is you don't get more tire flex when you're in a field with cars versus when you're on a solo lap. That's the only thing. That was not a bad lap. Well, what's a good lap with this car? I don't know, Sound of Guns. I haven't driven with AI yet. Hopefully soon. Jeez. Almost identical. Missed the turn in. I think we'll get one lap after this. I do not know what max opponents for online is, unfortunately. Let's see if this allows me to finish the last lap, or is it going to boot me? Okay, it's going to let me finish my lap. Almost lost it. So something I want to know. When I started the last session with the heavier fuel load, I was last. Now I'm first. Go figure.
Session is now over.
Funny how that works. So yeah, only 72 thousandths faster than F. Pereira. P. Keen, a 10th up. So yeah, huh, that was pretty close. So now we can continue career. Are you sure you want to leave the track and proceed to next event? Yes. So let's see how this goes. So preliminary test suggests the following difficulty preset for your career mode. So there's hard and pro. So one step below top for me. I'm okay with that. And hit apply. So now we're doing the wet test. Okay. Sure. We'll keep that on for now. Automatic stuff. And so this is the wet driving test. I'm a little more nervous about this one. I'm not good in the rain. So they didn't duplicate this message. It's time to show you how well you can perform under raining conditions. The team needs to gauge your ability to drive in traffic under wet conditions and stay away from trouble. Your target is to complete the session without cuts, accidents, or off-track excursions. Although you will be evaluated based on your best lap, but remember, avoiding cuts and crashes and clean driving are the top priority here to succeed. Alrighty.
Green light, go, go, go. Your second test is under wet conditions. Just focus on setting your best lap in this heavy rain and bring the car back in one piece.
So again, it's at the heavy fuel load, but I don't really care right now. But actually, let's restart this, just to be safe. Just to make sure we don't accidentally get shoved back into a low tier. Pete, I have not tested driving in a race with AI yet. I'm going through the career mode right now, and gives us an idea on how to get this all going. So I believe we did 25 before, and that was enough for us. Drive.
Green light. Go, go, go.
It's cool that they have the thing that's like Assetto Corsa there.
Just focus on setting your best lap in this heavy rain and bring the car back in one piece.
Alright. I believe career mode does 2 full seasons. This is not maximum graphics. I'm at high because I can't run max and stream at the same time, unfortunately. If I tried, it would just cause issues for you guys. So, this is like the driving school. I think depending on your performance with this car, you can get other rides with other cars. So move the braking point back a bit. Yeah, it seems like the car is more prone to kicking in with the ABS under raining conditions. Default traction control for this is at 7, which is alright, or 7 and 7. Let's try turning down the traction control a hair and see how that is. And I'll turn ABS to 5. We'll see how that goes. Okay, little slide there, but we caught it all right. So I see a Lamborghini behind me. Only 0.4 of a second back. Oh, that was a puddle. So the spray does kick up a little more. Jeez, these cars are quick in the wet. Or the AI is. I jumped on the brakes way early there. 205. Dang. I'm off. Let's see what I can do. Morton, I can test it later in the stream. Right now we're jumping into career mode. If I get offered, yes, I might jump in it. So that's 2.5 seconds, but still I'm off.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest now.
I just do not understand how they're driving this fast in the rain.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
Yeah, let's take this. Well, that's a half second in the first corner alone. And I lost it all in the next corner.
Session is now open.
Session medal gold. Okay. Even though we were 2 seconds off. Go figure. So the timetables, options. So 159 from the top car. That's like 4 seconds off dry. That does not seem realistic. So now it's time for the night session. Okay. So I guess this is like the final one. Test how you drive at night, and then it'll throw a few team offers at you, I guess. In this night driving test, you'll be evaluated based on your fastest lap, but always remember that the first priority is to drive consistently, avoid incidents, or cutting the track. Alright. Let's take the aggressive preset, drop it down to 28 liters, that's fine.
Green light, go, go, go. In this night driving test, you will be evaluated based on your fastest lap, but always remember that the first priority is to drive consistently, avoid incidents, or cutting the track. Be safe and have fun out there.
It's always fun driving in decent simulated night conditions. And it feels pretty nice in this. My guess is that the lap time will be faster at night, possibly, because if you have the track down, you can really benefit from the benefits of night racing. So, for example, colder air means the air is more dense, which means more air is going to the engine, slightly more power, and that is a decent benefit, a decent perk. Also, the track would be cooler, which I think, actually, that might balance it out, I'm not sure. Oh, shoot. Completely missed the corner. That is not good. All right, let's get some good laps down. That's not going to be gold. Whoops. Well, maybe it's because it's on my outlap, it won't count. So let's see what kind of lap we throw down. Get the car brake down. Interesting how the delta timer on the top left kind of glitches out. It's not showing anything representative of a real lap or anything. Okay, don't miss the corner this time. Edgar, it's not true. I wouldn't say it's like understeer force feedback like other sims. I mean, also I'm kind of spoiling myself with the direct drive wheel. I haven't tested this yet with the Thrustmaster, so I can't really speak too much for that. But yeah, force feedback has minor improvements. I haven't seen anything like truly revolutionary in this build. No! Okay, I'm rage restarting this. Sorry, guys. Just really a little too late on the braking and trying to get a good result for you guys. Alright, setup. Current setup. No, let's go aggressive. Fuel and strategy. 31.
Green light, give it all you can. In this night driving test, you will be evaluated based on your fastest lap, but always remember that the first priority is to drive consistently, avoid incidents, and cutting the track. Be safe and have fun out there.
Interesting how the caption does not match what the guy was saying. It just seems like a couple of these bits, like the small touches, were a little neglected to just get it out. Pete, I was saying that I haven't tested race conditions yet. Right now, we are just doing the career mode. So, yeah, from our early impressions, they seem pretty quick. They are unrealistically quick on the wet from our test session, it seemed like. Let's behave. Just hit our marks. Bam. Just keep pushing. How excited am I for Automobilista 2? I am very excited. I have a few things I'm nervous about. I'm interested in seeing how they take advantage of the Madness engine. Because the thing is, love it or hate it, that engine has potential. That engine has potential for really working on a great platform. Yeah, Edgar, it was announced yesterday. It's the follow-up title, and they're switching over to the Madness engine, which is the engine used in Project Cars 2. So it'll be interesting. I think we'll see what it's really capable of, because the thing that is great is that Risa Studios, they are really able to make a consistent product. The biggest thing I felt that hurt Project Cars 2 was it was horribly inconsistent as a title as a whole. So if Riza Studio can really make a consistent title with consistently great cars like AMS1 and have good physics, I think they could have a winner. Photos are available and a trailer on the AMS Facebook page, Twitter, etc. Pedro, I would ask what CPU do you have, because I feel like this is more CPU bound than GPU bound. i5 with 1060. Ooh. Yeah, that I think might be a little tricky. I'd say download MSI Afterburner and see what is being fully utilized. What's being maxed out on your system. MSI Afterburner is a great utility for seeing how much of your system is being consumed by a program. Car washed out a little bit in the final corner. Make sure we get a good exit there. Force feedback is minor improvement over the betas. It's just, I still place it firmly behind other titles. Almost lost it there. That really hit us hard. That near spin. Okay, that was a good corner. The issue with it is it feels like it doesn't communicate enough compared to what we have in other sims. Oh, we almost spun there. Yeah, it does feel pretty close to iRacing in my opinion, and some people swear by iRacing force feedback. Some people hate it. I'm somewhere in the middle. We're gonna get one more lap.
This has been your personal best.
And I totally missed. What isn't communicated? It feels like understeer isn't really communicated well when the tires lock up, things like that. And yeah, that's what I sort of feel. So let's see. Wait. Really? They don't give you a way to just drop out. Okay. That's meh. Well, I'll finish this later on, I guess, so. Let's do an actual race now. So let's actually jump into a race. Quick race. We'll do 15 minutes. And 28 cars? Why not? Or 29 cars. Random starting position. I think 90 is a good skill level. And let's jump in. People were asking that I take a look at the... which car is it? AMR V12. So we'll jump into the V12 Vantage. I'll take a look, or I'll show you force feedback settings in a couple minutes. So for this, I'm going to jump at Barcelona, another new track for this. And we will do just cloudy weather. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, I'm waiting for the Ryzen 3000 series. I considered getting a 27X to replace my 1800, but I felt it was just better to wait for the 3rd gen. We'll go to aggressive preset. Fuel and strategy. We only need, that's about 10 laps, so, or let's see, fuel strategy. We'll do 40, just to be safe. And we are going to be starting 28th. Okay. We got our work cut out for us. Hey, Kevin, I'm enjoying it for now. Yep, major increase to the input lag. That was my fear. That is still a big issue. Look, you can see the input lag on my wheel cam. That is astounding. Hopefully when the field filters out, it's a little better. But yeah, that is astounding input lag. Still, that limiter is crap, in my opinion.
Green light, go, go, go.
Love that sound, though. That is amazing sound. 3 wide into first corner ahead of us. Get on the brakes. Everyone is just dicey on this first lap. Oh, shoot. Ah! I don't feel any massive improvement. I don't. That's the slightly disappointing thing. This doesn't feel like a 1.0, unfortunately. And I'll talk about it more in my review once I get that put together. Let's give this a second try. I'll check the replay in a minute, or if I wreck again after this race. Because I already hit restart, I lost that replay, I think. This car sounds amazing, though, I'll say that. Let's survive a 10 or 15-minute race. And because of this limiter, I can't catch that car that's far ahead of me now. That does not make sense. We still got a great start. Go figure. Whoa! Okay. That was a massive early break point. I got a safety rating penalty because of that. Let's keep going. Oh, big wreck, big wreck. Okay. I get a safety rating penalty because a guy bumps me. That was a big wreck that I had nothing to do with. Go figure. So we're up to 23rd. Damage is on. And set to 100%. Yeah, when I bumped into the car, you heard him say I have some minor damage now. Car's still tracking straight, though, so I think the damage engine is relatively light in this. Whoa, okay. I'm gonna take blame for that. It will be interesting to see how ACC matures. But to be honest, I'm hoping that Kunos does not go in the direction of Unreal Engine for future titles. I'm not liking this on Unreal Engine. I'd still easily prefer Assetto Corsa. I mean, this has eye candy. This has a safety rating system baked in. But I think Assetto Corsa is still the better title. Especially if you mod it. If you mod it, add Content Manager, add Soul, add like the weather mods and stuff, then I think that Assetto Corsa is a superior title. We haven't tested the crash model yet, unfortunately. Let's try to catch these two cars ahead of us. And we know for the hairpin, they're going to come to a dead stop, though. Yeah, I should not have been able to make that pass on the outside. They just get way too far to a stop.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
So even at 90% AI, these are crazy fast. I'll say that. Except in the corners where they are inexplicably slow at times. I'm just going to make a dive bomb.
Damage at the rear.
I don't care right now. Car's still tracking perfectly straight. I wish the damage engine was a little more sensitive. Or that you could turn it to be more sensitive. And then another traffic jam. Okay. He ran wide into me, but I'm going to be the physical human that gets penalized.
We are at the halfway mark. Still a long way to go.
Let's try to at least get top 20 here. Thank you, Mirko, for subscribing. least for a bump and run, I didn't get penalized. Or not bump and run, but I just bumped him and moved him aside. So it does a decent job judging the severity of impacts. Yeah, you're gonna make the move on this Honda. Now we're making moves. The curb sounds are pretty awesome in this. I'd say all in all, the sounds are pretty great in ACC. It feels like there's just that extra dimension of depth, which is great. Reminds me of Race Room a bit. I'd say Race Room still is the better sounding title, but it has that similar element of depth. Oh, we got loose. So 4.5 minutes left. Again, since they break so freaking early, I get the run. We're all the way up to 14th now. Jeez. So it's interesting because in AI, there are some elements where they are truly fast, but just like in the corner or in some of the corners, especially slow corners, they break too early, and I'd say it causes a negative effect. Granted, I'm driving at 90% AI, not 100, but it seems interesting. Seems like they also have a little more situational awareness. They are less often to randomly hit you. Because in early releases, it seemed like they had no idea where you were, and they would just randomly sideswipe you in a corner. In this, it looks like it's slightly improved. Warning 1 for track limits, okay. Alright, I think we have 1 lap to go. Or no, it'll be 2 laps, okay. Let's see if we can get a top 10. But yeah, they just get on the brakes so early for this corner, for example. Let's get a good run out of this corner. Yeah, again, they just brake so late, it gives me a massive door to fly through.
Alright, man, the leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
Love that sound when you hear the reverb. Whoa, okay. I was going straight, and he sideswipes me. So I guess the situational awareness is not perfect right now. Again. Massive door open, and what else am I supposed to do than take it? See the fireworks going off?
Right, mate, race on. Good job.
Wow.
Best you could. Take it easy in the 8th lap.
So, we started 28th and made our way up to 5th in 15 minutes. Alright, Blue Noser, nice to hear. So, there's... Okay, that's the helmet cam. There we go. So, decent race, but... Yeah, safety rating took a hit. I'll say that. So, let's see. Is there a way to look at the replay? Or... No. So, you can't look at the replay in that menu. Weird. Gallery, replays, highlights, automatically save. Nope. Alright, let's jump into a multiplayer session. See if there's anything in here. Searching servers. So let's pick a car. I want to try out the NSX. I've been interested in that one, so... I'll pick that car. Server list. Is there anything? I would hope so. It's launch day. Error occurred. Please try again. Force feedback is okay. Nothing to write home about. I wish it was better. That's my thing. I wish the force feedback was slightly better. But it feels more like iRacing than anything, force feedback wise. Okay, well, I guess that isn't working. So I'll show you what I'm doing for force feedback right now. It's very, very minimal. You have force feedback gain. Because of my large Mige open sim wheel, I have it set to 25%. Minimum force set to 0. Dynamic damping set to 0. Road effect set to 0. So why I don't like Unreal Engine for this? Main reasons is it's not really built with racing sims in mind. It's meant for more of the like adventure style games. It's meant more for that kind of thing. That is the force feedback sub menu. Clip Apex. That's it. Literally, that is it for force feedback. That's what I was telling you. There's not much to tweak. So, what I was saying is that they don't have triple screen support. You have the triple screen 5760 by 1080 or whatever it is, but it's a single stretched image. You don't have multi-rendering, so you can't adjust monitor angle into sim. You have the input lag, which is relative to how much usage your system has. So the more cars, the more your input lag is. That's another issue. These little graphical niggles are also there, where, for example, you have the draw distance, which isn't as good as other racing sims, which is disappointing. So I'm just, I've been streaming for about 2 hours now, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this car out for a spin, take it around Brands Hatch, and we'll get into my final thoughts. So for this, though, I'm going to throw it, or no, I'm going to do dry, because I want to get a decent idea on how this car handles. So practice, yeah. But I'm going to do 48, so we'll see it change tonight. Wild, thanks for subscribing. Tool for Forza, do you have Discord? If you do, join the SimRacingPaddock Discord and I can talk to you about that. Alright. So, Blue Noser, the shortcomings are it's not as well performing as other sims because Unreal Engine 4 is more CPU intensive. It has the issue with when more cars are out, you get more input lag. Even with one car on track, you get input lag that is just not as good. So there's that. There's the no triple screens, which people don't like. And also because higher CPU and GPU usage, it's more of a toll on the VR user, which people are irritated with. So that's another shortcoming. And just, I feel like Kunos would have been better to invest their time improving their in-home game engine. Their in-home game engine had so much potential. Look at what the third-party modding community did with Soul. They added in day to night transitions. They added in wet tracks. They added in all these features that weren't in the game at launch and were able to bring so much out of it. Imagine if Kunos was able to add that to their own engine in-house. So I just feel like, in a sense, Kunos cheaped out for ACC. They could have done so much more, in my opinion, and it ends up just feeling a little cheapened. Sure, I will say, graphically, this is amazing. This has a lot of great visual fidelity, and it really is a good-looking title. Like, we'll jump into the replay in a little bit, and the driving feel is mostly alright. But if they really fleshed out their original engine, I think it could have been something to compete with the Madness engine. It could have been something to compete with ISI motor. But them just jumping to Unreal Engine, they've kind of abandoned all that work they put in that, like, realistically, it started with Netcar Pro. Netcar naming Netcar Pro, that was the groundwork for an engine, and then they fleshed it out with Assetto Corsa, and they abandoned a lot of stuff by jumping to Unreal Engine, because also modding will be next to non-existent on ACC, I think. Modding will be next to non-existent, so they're abandoning that massive community that rallied around Assetto Corsa. Assetto Corsa was built with modding in mind. That was in the original announcement. But now, ACC is going to have very limited, at best, modding. Pete, the thing is, this field of view is the more accurate field of view for what I'm driving with. That's the thing. This is the more realistic field of view. But to humor you, I'll jump into the helmet camera a bit, and we can goof off a bit in that. So this is the helmet camera in ACC. Really reminds me of Need for Speed Shift to an extent, where it will respond to your turning, it will move the head. You can turn off moving the head and just have the camera, but yeah, this is some extra immersion. I could see people in VR really enjoying this. Like, they turn off the head movement and keep the helmet element of it. So there's that. But yeah, so let's get on to some of my final thoughts on this initial impression of ACC 1.0. It doesn't feel finished. It doesn't feel like a finished, well-polished title. I will say all the cars are consistent. All the cars are consistent. Or yeah, Pete, you can change the field of view, which is nice. But yeah, so the cars feel consistent. They drive well. The tracks feel great. There's just a lot missing, in my opinion. There's the little attention to detail that should be there in a 1.0 title, and unfortunately is not. And it's things like that that I feel detract from the experience. I wish they were able to, at the very least, optimize this a little more. I just feel like with optimization not being to the extent of what it is, it just feels like we're missing out a bit. It feels like with the input lag issue, I think that is a deal breaker for some people. Some people will literally scoff at a title because of input lag, and that is disappointing. Yes, this does have pit animation, and you'll notice this is getting dark fast. That is because I have it set to 48 time day to night. And I'll say, day to night transition in this looks amazing. Weather is pretty awesome. That is a nice feature. So yeah, we see the sunset. It's getting dark. The lights are on now because I accidentally had it set to automatic lights. So there's that. But it's that bit of depth that makes me that much more annoyed at the lack of the little details. It's seeing this like look amazing, the amazing visuals, the amazing sounds that makes the little issues stick out like a sore thumb. And this is a good racing game. It has the career mode, it has the season mode, it has a lot of things that a lot of people are going to be looking for in a racing game. It's just, I wish it was a little more optimized, realistically. And if it was, I think this would have been a far better title. And yeah, for this, there are elements of greatness, but I won't call this a truly great title. That's sort of my thoughts on it. So yeah, I'm going to try to be putting out a full review of ACC out in when I get a little more timing now, or time behind the wheel, because this literally is you're seeing my first raw impressions of ACC 1.0. These are my first raw thoughts. They are just seeing how it is and how it works. I'll try to end this session in the pits, but I don't know if they have pit animations in practice. So yeah, just torch my tires. Just imagine that. Need a pit, so we'll drive to the pits. And we'll see what happens. I don't know if anything will happen, though. So let's see. You're saying F2, okay, so... yeah, those are different settings. I don't see any pit crew here, so it's just like stop. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see anything. Actually, wait. Okay, so my car's up. So, I guess I am getting pitted right now? Yeah, I'm in air, so there's no timer, no indication, so yeah. So, yeah, I'd say with this, there's a lot of potential. It just needs to be a little more realized. So, let's hope that with subsequent releases, it's a little better, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, guys, I'm cautiously optimistic right now, so we'll see how it goes. But guys, thanks for watching. And I guess, yeah, the pit stop is done now. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Had fun testing this out so far. I'll do more testing as time goes on. But until then, guys, thanks for watching. For the Sim Racing Paddock, I'm William Marsh, and you have a good one.